My dear friend, if you are listening to me today, I want you to take a deep breath and listen with your heart. I have seen many patients cross the age of 70. I have watched them struggle with loneliness and the deep, hidden pain that comes when people begin to drift away. It is a silent suffering that often goes unnoticed, and yet it is one of the most profound challenges we face as we age. You see, after 70, you begin to feel that even your closest family members start to visit less, call less, and include you less. And it hurts. You may start to wonder if you did something wrong, if you have become a burden, or if you have simply lost your place in their hearts. But I want to tell you, you are not alone. This is a phenomenon that is more common than you think. And today I will share with you 6 reasons why this happens, and more importantly, how you can stop it and regain the warmth and connection you deserve. The first reason is what I call the emotional fatigue of your loved ones. Studies from the University of California show that as family members grow older themselves, they face their own set of challenges. They juggle work, raising children, maintaining marriages, and their own health struggles. By the time they reach home, they are often drained, both physically and emotionally. This exhaustion can make them withdraw even from those they love most. It is not that they love you less, but that they feel they have nothing left to give. In such moments, your role becomes crucial. Rather than waiting for them to come to you, reach out to them with warmth and patience. Share in their lives without demanding too much. Listen to their stories, ask about their day, and remind them of the strength you once gave them. When they feel understood rather than judged, they will return to you more willingly. The second reason is the shift in priorities. Research conducted by Harvard Medical School points out that middle-aged adults often undergo what is called priority realignment. As they age, they focus on immediate family units, their spouses, children, and sometimes grandchildren. Their social circles shrink, and they try to simplify life. This does not mean they want to abandon you, but their daily responsibilities consume their time and energy. The way to address this is to make yourself part of their new priorities rather than standing outside, feeling left behind. Invite them to simple activities. Perhaps you can help with the grandchildren's homework or share an old recipe with them. By weaving yourself into their current life, you remind them that you are not an extra piece, but an essential thread in their fabric. The third reason is the psychological discomfort associated with aging and mortality. This one is hard to hear but necessary. According to a study published in the Journals of Gerontology, younger family members often avoid older relatives because it confronts them with their own fears of aging and death. You become, without intending to, a mirror reflecting what they might become one day. They avoid this mirror not out of hatred, but out of fear. How can you overcome this? By showing them that aging is not a decline, but a continuation of life's richness. When you remain curious, joyful, and engaged, you send a powerful message. That old age is not something to fear, but to embrace. Pursue hobbies, continue learning, laugh openly. When they see you living fully, they no longer associate you with decline, but with wisdom and resilience. The fourth reason is physical and cognitive decline, which can create communication gaps. As our hearing fades or our memory falters, it can become harder to follow conversations or remember important events. This can frustrate both you and your loved ones. In a study from Johns Hopkins University, researchers found that untreated hearing loss leads to social isolation and depression. Addressing such physical issues early can make a profound difference. Wear your hearing aids proudly, use memory aids, and do not shy away from asking someone to repeat themselves. When you show that you are making efforts to bridge the gap, they will feel encouraged to meet you halfway. Moreover, by maintaining clear communication, you strengthen the bonds that might otherwise weaken with time. The fifth reason is the subtle emotional barriers that develop when older adults fall into patterns of negativity or complaint. It is natural to talk about aches, losses, or frustrations, but when this becomes the dominant theme, it can push people away. The American Psychological Association highlights that repeated negativity can create emotional distance in relationships. To counter this, practice gratitude daily. Focus conversations on pleasant memories, dreams, and the beauty you still see in life. Ask about your family's joys and victories. Show interest in their passions and adventures. When you radiate positivity, you become someone they want to visit, not out of duty, but out of desire. The sixth and final reason is a loss of shared experiences and activities. As you slow down physically, you may stop attending family outings, vacations, or even simple dinners out. Over time, this absence creates a distance that is not always intentional. In research from the National Institute on Aging, it was found that shared activities are vital in maintaining emotional closeness. It does not have to be anything strenuous. You can host a movie night at home, prepare a small garden project together, or even share a favorite TV series. When you keep sharing activities, you create new memories, and these memories serve as bridges that keep you connected. Now you might ask, what can you do to stop this from happening? I will tell you with all my heart. The first step is to cultivate self-awareness. Understand when you might be unintentionally creating emotional distance. Listen more than you speak. Observe your own patterns of communication and attitude. Self-awareness is the foundation of change. The second step is to take proactive care of your health. Attend your medical appointments, address sensory losses, and remain physically active to the best of your ability. When your family sees that you are taking care of yourself, they feel relief and admiration, and they are more likely to stay connected. Third, practice emotional generosity. Love without expecting immediate returns. Celebrate their achievements, even if they forget yours. Support them in their struggles, even if they do not always support you in the same way. Over time, this silent strength will draw them back to you, like a lighthouse guiding lost ships home. Fourth, maintain your own social circles outside the family. Join clubs, volunteer, or take part in community activities. When you are socially active, you feel less dependent on your family for emotional fulfillment. This makes your interactions with them more joyful and less burdened by unspoken needs. Fifth, embrace technology. Learn to use smartphones, video calls, and social media. Many older adults resist these tools, but they are powerful bridges to the younger generation. When you can send a quick photo, share a message, or join a family video chat, you remain a living part of their daily narrative rather than a distant memory. Lastly, keep a spirit of curiosity and growth alive within you. The world is full of wonders at every age. Whether it is reading a new book, learning a new skill, or even exploring spiritual practices, this ongoing growth makes you more vibrant and attractive to be around. You see, my dear friend, aging does not have to mean fading away. It can be a time of deeper connections and richer relationships, if only we understand the dynamics at play. The loneliness you may feel is not a punishment nor a sign of your worth. It is a signal that something needs to shift, and that shift can begin with you. When you step forward with courage, openness, and love, you invite your family and friends to do the same. You become a living testament to the idea that relationships are not static. They are gardens that need tending. Sometimes the soil gets dry, sometimes the weeds take over. But with care and patience, they can bloom beautifully again. So let us not wait for others to make the first move. Let us not sit by the window waiting for that call or visit. Instead, let us reach out with open arms and hearts. Let us show them that at 70, 80, or 90, we still have much to give and much to share. Let us be the ones who bring light into the room rather than waiting for someone else to turn on the lamp. Remember the old saying that you do not stop playing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop playing. Keep playing, keep loving, and keep inviting others into your world. And I promise you, even if they wander away for a while, they will always find their way back to your warmth. Because love, when given freely and joyfully, is the most magnetic force in the world. It transcends age, time, and even distance. My dear friend, you are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are a treasure trove of stories, wisdom, and love. And if you believe in that deeply and act on it every single day, you will find that people, even your family, will not only stay, but cherish every moment they have with you. Let us keep going forward together, hand in hand, heart to heart, and I will be here cheering you on every single step of the way. How can gratitude practices transform your relationships and daily life? My dear friend, let me ask you something that might sound simple, but holds a power deeper than any medicine I could ever prescribe. When was the last time you truly sat still, closed your eyes, and felt thankful? Not just a polite thank you when someone passes the salt, but a deep, soul-stirring gratitude for the people and moments that make your life what it is. You see, as a doctor who has walked alongside thousands of patients in their later years, I have come to realize that gratitude is not just a fleeting emotion. It is a practice, a daily ritual, and above all, a powerful force that can transform your relationships and your entire life. When you reach 70 or 80, life has already shown you its joys and its sorrows. Perhaps you have lost dear friends, a spouse, or watched your children grow distant as they built lives of their own. In these moments, it is easy to slip into a pattern of longing and regret. But gratitude has the power to shift your gaze from what is missing to what remains, from loss to abundance, from loneliness to connection. A study from the University of California at Davis showed that people who kept a daily gratitude journal felt more optimistic, exercised more, and reported fewer health complaints. Another research from the University of Pennsylvania found that people who expressed gratitude to someone they had never properly thanked experienced a significant increase in their happiness, lasting even weeks after the act. These findings are not just numbers in a journal. They tell us that gratitude physically changes our brains, releasing dopamine and serotonin, the very chemicals that make us feel joy and peace. When we feel these emotions, our hearts open and our faces soften. We become more approachable, more loving, and more alive. I once had a patient named Mr. Kumar, a strong man who had spent his life providing for his family. But after 75, he found himself alone. His children visited only during festivals, and his friends had either passed or moved away. He began to complain, to feel abandoned, to sink into a quiet bitterness that only deepened with time. During one of our sessions, I asked him to try something different. I told him to write down 3 things he was grateful for every morning, no matter how small. At first, he resisted. He said there was nothing left to be thankful for, but slowly he began writing. One day he wrote that he was grateful for the jasmine flowers blooming in his yard. Another day he wrote about a kind neighbor who brought him sweets. Then he wrote about an old song that made him feel young again. Over time, something miraculous happened. His face brightened. He started smiling more often. His children noticed this change too. They began visiting more, not out of obligation, but because they felt his warmth and light. You see, gratitude changed not only his internal world, but also the energy he projected outward, drawing people back into his life. Gratitude also helps heal relationships that might feel strained or broken. When we focus on what we appreciate in others, we begin to see their goodness instead of their faults. We stop measuring how many times they called or visited and start cherishing the moments we do share. Imagine you have a son who rarely calls. Instead of feeling hurt, focus on the times he did call. Remember the laughter you shared, the stories he told you, the small signs of love he showed. When you greet him next time with warmth instead of complaint, he feels welcome, not guilty. That change in your approach can slowly rebuild a bridge that may have felt beyond repair. Studies from Harvard University show that gratitude strengthens empathy and reduces aggression. People who practice gratitude are more likely to behave kindly, even when others are less kind to them. This gentle power can soften even the hardest hearts and renew family ties in ways you might not expect. Gratitude also transforms our daily life in quiet but powerful ways. Instead of waking up with a heavy heart thinking about your aches or worries, you start the day with a sense of abundance. You might feel thankful for the warmth of your blanket, the taste of your morning tea, or the sound of birds outside your window. This shift changes the entire course of your day. You approach people with kindness. You find joy in simple tasks. You start to see beauty where before you saw only routine. Our brain has a natural tendency to focus on the negative, a survival instinct from ancient times. But gratitude gently retrains our mind to seek out the positive. Over time, this rewiring becomes a new way of living, a habit that leads to greater peace and deeper joy. Many elders believe it is too late to change or that their habits are too fixed. But I have seen otherwise. I have seen people in their 80s transform their outlook on life and find new friendships, stronger family bonds, and a renewed zest for living. Gratitude is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. It is about acknowledging all of life, the light and the shadow, and choosing to focus on the gifts. It is about saying, Even in my struggles, there is something to be thankful for. This choice opens the heart and invites more love and connection. I often tell my patients to end each day by listing 3 things they are grateful for. Perhaps it is the phone call from a friend, a delicious meal, or the memory of a loved one's laughter. Write them down, speak them aloud. Let them become part of your nightly ritual, like a gentle prayer that wraps your heart in warmth before you sleep. Over time, you will notice that your spirit feels lighter. Your relationships, once strained by expectations and disappointments, begin to heal. Your family will feel the shift and respond to it, even if they do not realize why. My dear friend, gratitude is not just a practice. It is a lifeline. It is a way to remember that you are still deeply connected to the people and the world around you. When you live with a grateful heart, you become a beacon of light. Others are drawn to that light because it feels safe, warm, and loving. You do not have to wait for others to change or come closer. You can take the first step, and gratitude will guide you. You will find that even in the simplest moments, life still holds endless wonders waiting for you to notice. And in that noticing, in that thankful breath, you will rediscover the deep joy of being alive and deeply loved.